Hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
This is another one of our movie reviews. I'm sorry if it's terrible. Can't see what's about to happen in here and everything else, but going forward, it's all Superman. After this is over, we'll let you know how the movie was, and then
2 hours later.
All right, YouTube.
We're going to Superman.
Yeah, we're gonna go walk the steps that Superman just walked. Are you guys excited for that? Was it a good movie?
Yeah.
Are you gonna tell the people to go see the movie? Alright, at the time of recording this, I wasn't too worried about giving a review for the movie or anything like that, talking about it in any such way, but we're gonna talk about it now, alright? And you're gonna see the random locations that we visited during our Superman series, so back to what he was saying. Yep, nope. Was it a good movie, Bobby?
Did you like the movie, Bobby?
Yeah, that was pretty, well, amazing. Like, Henry Cavill's still going to be my Superman for a very long time, but if they keep up this trend, what that movie did, that was pretty phenomenal. But now, we are heading to Cleveland, Ohio, the place where the film was filmed, and we're going to walk the steps of Superman.
3 hours later.
We finally made it. Welcome
Smacking me in the face.
to Cleveland. These are the skies Superman flew around. Is that kind of cool to be in the place Superman came from? Before we went and seen this, alright, we watched Creature Commandos, okay? It's kind of like a little setup, not for Superman, but for this universe. But at the very beginning of the movie, it says 3 months, or 3,000 years, 3 blah blah blah, 3 blah blah blah. It sets up kind of the history of this new DC universe without actually giving you visuals and other such things. And then Superman crashes into the snow, whistling for crypto. Yeah, that was neat to see how they set it up and why they put that in the movie. But from when I saw just the trailers, it was kind of like, I don't want to see Superman beat up. I don't want to see all this crap. But then it begins to make sense because they start establishing the universe, or the movie, the filmverse, or whatever it is. I don't know. The reason Superman was beat up and tossed in the snow was because of the golden dude. Forgot his name. You find out later it's Ultraman.
Copy.
The Hammer of Baravia, whatever it is. I don't remember. But you start to find out that that's Ultraman inside there, and Lex Luthor is speaking in his ear. If you don't know who Ultraman is, my first thought was, this has to be Ultraman from the alternate universe, like the, one from the comics and the cartoons and stuff.
Get your hands off my boy. You've got problems of your own.
But I was completely wrong. And I was really hoping if it was, that it was Henry Cavill. And then the story begins to progress like a normal Superman movie. Clark Kent gets, interview with Superman, all the little stuff happens. David Cornsweet's portrayal of Clark Kent was pretty good. I kind of liked it. It was pretty neat, nifty, different. But kind of reminded me of a Christopher Reeve style thing, not so much Henry Cavill style. It wasn't dark and gritty, it was more humorous, and a guy just kind of goofing around and trying to, I guess, come up in the world. It was neat. It was nifty. And eventually, you get to the giant monster. Starts off, it wasn't a giant monster. It was a little dude. Lex Luthor's henchmen, people, released. You also find out Bradley Cooper is playing Superman's dad, Jor-El. There's a secret message that's partially broken. I don't know. We went to the location though where he fought the giant monster. Well, at least the monster died. Hey baby, when he fought the giant monster and his stomach exploded and Superman laid him down, felt bad for him because it was unfair what they did to him?
Yeah.
This is that part. Insert a picture right here. Look at this place. Pretty awesome. Who is this? I'm sorry my review's not amazing or anything else. We were loving the movie and trying the best to experience Cleveland. So, you know, I could have got a better shot of the park and all that. But no, we went to the park where after they blew up the monster's stomach and killed him, where Superman laid his body down. We played in that grass. We ran around. We fooled. The kids enjoyed themselves. So, yeah, it was kind of a sad scene. It was unfair. But we got a first introduction to the Justice Gang. Green Lantern, Hawk Girl, and Mr. Terrific. At first, I was thinking this is going to be dumb. Like, we get this Green Lantern as our first Green Lantern. But throughout the film, he definitely grew on me. I definitely started to enjoy him, and I understand why this Green Lantern, Guy Gardner, of all Green Lanterns, was chosen. He fits it perfect. He is that cocky, I don't know, you know. Throughout the film, though, he has some amazing scenes. Like, one of my favorite is where he explains the hypno glasses, that when Clark Kent puts those glasses on, he hypnotizes people into not seeing Superman's face. And, you know, it makes sense. Like, I knew that from the comics and all that, but I thought that was just a throwaway gag from way back, a couple comics, but it's actually part of canon now, and that's kind of neat. And Hawk Girl, little attitude, not really teenager, but she doesn't quite know who she is yet. She knows she has a destiny, she's part of something bigger. And then Mr. Terrific, his portrayal was amazing. Like, it's just phenomenal to see Mr. Terrific in live action. Like, I've seen him in the cartoons. That's the closest we've gotten throughout the years and everything else. And in the cartoons, he was kind of more reserved, more unfriendly, more hateful. But this, you saw that there is logic. That's all he cares about is logic and science and knowledge and everything else. But you also see somewhere, some little bit deep inside, there's humanity in him. And he's understanding of the world around him. And he wants to be a part of the world around him. Like when he goes and helps Lois and all that in later scenes. It was kind of neat. And you find out that Maxwell Lord is funding it all, which instantly, I knew Supergirl was going to show up because it's Maxwell Lord. Like, sure, he's been in other comics, he's been in other heroes, villains and such, but when I think of Maxwell Lord, I think of Supergirl. And then to see Sean Gunn is playing Maxwell Lord, that just sets up Supergirl just perfect. And the end credit scene, or the ending of the movie, also sets it up because obviously Supergirl shows up. That scene was interesting. It set up a lot in the movie and prepared us for how the rest of the movie was going to go. Superman was going to be that beacon of hope. Guy Gardner's Green Lantern was going to be that ignorant, yet intelligent in his own way, cocky butthole of a character. It's going to keep everything grounded and more realized and whatever. Mr. Terrific was going to be the brains. Like, you're going to have logic that runs this movie and everything else. No heart, no hope. That's Superman's job. He was going to be the one who kept it, like, grounded in scientific reason and technology. Where Hawk Girl come in, she's just that unbridled rage, just want of power to destroy, to get the job done, no matter the cost. That was actually really neat and great way to set it all up. Then it just skips around to more just random Superman stuff, like the interview with Lois that kind of mimics the Christopher Reeves one back in the day, but this one's more 2025, more social media orientated, more, I don't know, argument between him and Lois about what's right, what's wrong, and then you get other Lex scenes where he breaks in and destroys the place, steals the message. This movie was honestly really good. And after Superman learns the truth and all that about his parents, like when Lex finds out the full message and everything and broadcasts it to the world, Superman feels defeated. He feels like the world is against him, that he was truly meant to be something horrible, but he doesn't want to be something horrible because of Ma and Pa Kent. We find out that Pa Kent is still alive. Which is weird for a Superman movie, which means later on, if they do end up killing him, it's going to be heart-ripping. Something like Aunt May and, Spider-Man. Instead of Uncle Ben dying, Aunt May died. That's where your heart got ripped out. So it has its amazing ups and downs. It's just great. It was great. Wasn't... Like Henry Cavill should have had his own chance. His own not connected to a wider universe chance at a movie. But this Superman. Yeah. So we continued walking around. We found the building later on. Because Lex Luthor ends up opening a rift, or no. He kidnaps Superman, takes him to his own little pocket dimension, his own little world that he created by creating like weird technology that does stuff. And that's where everything kind of changes, and you find out Fudge, I forgot his name. Hold on. We'll get back to this. Just watch some more of our stuff. Pretty darn sure in the Superman movie, that's the building Superman saved from falling on the lady in the car by the bridge, right?
Yeah.
It was surrounded by a bunch of other buildings, but I'm guessing that's just CGI Hollywood magic, but... Woo! Metamorpho is his name. We find out that Superman or somebody, there's no kryptonite on Earth, it's all gone. So Lex has to use Metamorpho to turn his hand into kryptonite to keep him locked up a prisoner. A lot of other crazy stuff happens, like all the selfies that I don't remember her name was sending to Jimmy Olsen, which this Jimmy Olsen was good. Jimmy Olsen and Zack Snyder's, it's not Jimmy Olsen, this Jimmy Olsen is Jimmy Olsen. But all the selfies that she was sending to him were clues and had like secret stuff in the background to help bring down Lex, and he didn't even notice. He thought he was just sending cute selfies. But it brought about all the clues, and then the crazy fight happens. They find out there's a black hole in this other pocket dimension that Lex created. That's where he's been dropping all the random, particles, random things in the world, in the pocket dimension. And it's all, Lex has Metamorpho because of his son. So Superman saves Metamorpho's son. And yeah, Crypto comes through, chews up and destroys Mr. Terrific's little balls, and that's how Mr. Terrific and Lois figure out where he's at. I'm really sorry I'm bad at reviewing a movie that I watched like weeks ago. Should have done this sooner. But I'm more reliving it inside my head, Joe. Y'all know how I make films. Y'all, I don't know what you're expecting. You're not expecting like 3C up here. Or new rock stars. If you are, I'm sorry. You need to go watch them. I adventure and explore and do stuff like that, okay? But Lex eventually reopens the portal to the black hole world, pocket dimension, after Superman's out and all that, and everybody's saved and whatnot. And he starts to cause a rift in the world, like the actual outside Earth that heads straight towards Metropolis, and that's where that building starts to fall. Okay? Superman saves her from that building. But while the rift is opening and all the crazy and stuff is going on, Mr. Terrific's trying to close the rift. Lois and Jimmy are trying to stop Lex and all that and bring all his misdeeds to public. We finally get the fight between Ultraman and Superman, and the mask gets ripped off, and it's not Henry Cavill. It's just a regular old clone. My theory here, though, is when Superman beats him and throws him back into the pocket dimension, he goes to the black hole, okay? Well, what if he somehow escapes? And that's where Bizarro Superman comes into play later on. Because it was made abundantly clear that Ultraman, this Superman, is dumb. He's not all there in his head. He doesn't communicate. He has long hair. He's confused and all this, that, and other thing. He can only follow directions. Well, what if this is the setup for Bizarro? It'd be amazing. But Mr. Terrific ends up figuring out how to close it while Superman's saving the world, stopping Lex Luthor and all this, that, and other thing. Superman kicks in the door. All of Yeah, Crypto starts beating up Lex and biting him, and he's like, "Ooh, can't do nothing here. It's not my dog." Find out later at the end of the movie that it was Supergirl's dog, and he was just watching him while Supergirl went to a planet with a red sun to party. You know, because the metabolism underneath the yellow sun doesn't allow them to drink and get that type of feeling. Just neat, just interesting. There's so much adult stuff in this movie, but also made for kids. Like, you could take your kid to see this movie and they might be oblivious and dumb to the adult stuff, but they're gonna understand why the parrots are laughing. Woo! It's been a long day. The Superman was different. It wasn't made specifically for children. It wasn't made to sell toys. It was made to be like the comics. James Gunn is a comic book fan, and he understands comics and what we want. Sure, there's the whole family kid side of the comics where, you know, a kid can go pick it up and read it, but there's also the adult side of the comics where Superman lets loose and just destroys and does whatever it takes, no matter the cost. And this is kind of that Superman. Like, it starts off all fun and games and kiddie, but we realize this is not just a little kid's PG movie. This is aimed for the kids, for the adults, and for everybody in between. It was amazing. I didn't want to have to say this. I didn't want to be here. I wanted to be like, no, let's go back to Zack Snyder's, but Man of Steel versus Superman 2025, it's so hard to say. Are you looking for an adult, gritty, down-to-earth, real-world film? Or do you want something you can enjoy with your family, take your kids to, and future generations to be able to enjoy? Like, if it wasn't for Henry Cavill, Superman 2025 is amazing. It's phenomenal. It's just so beautifully done and put together. It sets up a world that you want to be a part of, that you want to continue seeing stories from. I'm not sure who Batman's going to be. Not sure if the Green Lantern's going to stay this Green Lantern, or the new Green Lantern show is going to change it. What's coming? But I'm quite excited to see where these stories are going. Like, what is coming next? Like, I know Supergirl and Lobo with Jason Momoa returning as a whole different character with Peacemaker in between, which I'm going to sit down and watch Peacemaker real soon. I've already watched the first season, and it's like, you know, it kind of falls in lieu with this and that, but it's good. But it also shows Suicide Squad as part of this world, but only certain parts of the Suicide Squad are part of this world. So, here's my terrible review. This Superman movie gives me hope, gives me inspiration. I can't say it's a 10 of a 10, but it's like a good high 7.5, 8. Like, I would definitely rewatch this. I would definitely enjoy it with my kids again. And I'm gonna highly recommend it to y'all. I know I don't do a lot of movie reviews, but this touched my heart. This was something special. I got to go see it with my father-in-law, my wife, my mother-in-law, my son, my daughter. Not the baby daughter. Tay-Tay didn't go. She's baby. We ain't taking her to see a movie like this. But oh my goodness, it was good. I'm excited to see where it's going to continue. Until next time, enjoy. So, back at the car, went through it all. As always, it seems to be I forgot to leave our duck. This is our Superman duck, okay? Superman flies, right? Maybe somebody will find the duck. Maybe, just maybe, Superman will drop from the sky. Be like, I know this is for me. But until next time, until our next big adventure, thank you for coming along with us. Thank you for experiencing all this crazy with us. Bye, YouTube. Superman's house. This is where Superman was originally created by...